Good afternoon, everyone. Updates on North Carolina devastation. Repeaters you can listen to for live updates that are coming out of the mountains. The network's now linked to multiple locations. We got the strike going on. Ports, goods are going to cease immediately. And then we got massive fires and disruptions already in supply chains. Let's take a look at it. I want to start you off here. I'm also in contact with those that are up in Newport, Tennessee, doing emergency relief work up there. And if you are anywhere in Nashville and you can pass a message, they are unveiling Starlink stations effectively now. So the first ones that are open, Doubletree, Hilton downtown. Now, in addition to the port strike, this is the Ingalls Distribution Center here. Remember, credit cards are not working. Nothing's working. There's no pay-through systems, and people are taking cash or silver at the moment for payments. Open cash only. These are the signs that are starting to be seen across many a location, but the looting has started. There's no police presence, and those that are on networks now telling people to protect themselves. Isolated from the world, Asheville residents scavenging for food. And this is through areas that were flooded. People are actually looking for food. And if we come up here to Ingalls, this is in Black Mountain. I was unable to get a hold of Ingalls' home office before the video. I waited till 9 o'clock. I called like 3 or 4 times, couldn't get them. They're stationing police in front of the Ingalls, so you cannot go in there at the moment because they have no way to pay. And this is a travesty. You know, Ingalls, shame on you. You should be opening these stores and giving that food away. Instead of posting police officers out there, protect your property. And the address there you can easily see 550, and if you look up the store locator, that's exactly where it is in Black Mountain. Now Asheville is tremendously destroyed. All bridges going in there are cut off, and everything west of there is literally, there's 3 towns so far scoured away, like completely gone. Only foundations of some remnants remain. Roads gone, buildings gone, everything gone. Now you can listen live on repeater 145.350. That's Whiskey 4 Hotel Tango Papa. Broadcastify. Now this has been linked through multiple repeaters that are up and finally functional. And I want you to get a glimpse of how fast this water came down, and the evacuation orders were late. And once the slides started, they started, and there was nowhere to go. It happened so fast, and inundation was all encompassing anywhere there was a stream. But there is some hopefulness out of this. Farm dogs there are leading the cattle to safety. And this is one of the best images I could find of the day. And another barricade, I-19, Interstate 19 is now closed. You know, so those of you bringing relief supplies in there on your four-wheelers, etc., they're now stopping people and threatening them with arrest for bringing food supplies into those that are in need of relief, which is reprehensible as a kind term. So if we're looking at the water levels here, this is the water level that had swept through the cities. So you're looking at a good 10, 12 foot. And this is everywhere that had a stream or river in it, which is everywhere in the mountains, basically. All places are affected, West North Carolina. Now, this is the 1916 flood aftermath here. Pulled the archive photos. Bank of America said, do what central banks are doing, buy gold. Gold is up 20% in 2024. The tech-heavy AI-driven NASDAQ only 17%. Reports coming out of a Samsung solid-state battery breakthrough sent silver skyrocketing. JP Morgan forecasts silver to surpass $36 an ounce in 2025. And Patriot Gold Group has a no fee for life IRA where your IRA or 401k could be in physical gold or silver. No fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. But it doesn't look like you would see mud on the walls. If there were, and I enlarged a photo here and zoomed it in to look for mud flood marks on there, but this is the height of the water that was achieved. You see people standing back there, so the low-lying areas really got it. But it still, even in 1916, was nowhere close to being as high as this. Now, when the floodwaters started, The evacuation orders were given, and it just came down in neighborhoods, in cities, factory zones, business parks, it doesn't matter. The entire scene of all of Western North Carolina looked like this. People stranded on the roof. Now, this is a warehouse, so you can obviously get a gauge. Now, these people were rescued eventually by helicopter. Another good final ending. And this, if you can believe it, is after the floods had stopped, after the rain had stopped, and this was the flood dissipating in Asheville. After the rain stopped, and it was finally starting to flow out. But everywhere that there was, like I say, a stream or a river or a tributary or a creek, every single bit of habitation. I really believe 100 billion is far, far too low for the numbers of the damage now that I'm truly seeing here in earnest. That's just town after town. There's nowhere that didn't get damaged. Now, the thing is, the rescuers, the response, the emergency food supplies, the emergency fuel supplies were also washed away or damaged. Now you're looking at Lowe's here and the tractor trailers that got ripped up. And then, you're looking at some of these warehousing facilities that were destroyed as well. I'll bring it back to the Ingalls here because that's what I mean. This is a major food distribution center here for North Carolina and parts east. So expect, if you're on an Ingalls distribution system here in the southeast, especially Tennessee, to get lean real quick. And then we got the port strike coming in, so it's going to get double lean, double quick. Now, Avery County here in North Carolina, this is what their emergency response and road working crews have left to deal with. Their machinery is damaged as well. To even get the roads clear, they have to bring in new machinery from elsewhere to get the roads clear. And even if there are roads left. This is what you consider a strip mall. That's that same Lowe's that was torn apart there. But this is what the roads look. There's no roads. The roads are gone in so many thousands of places. Thousands, tens of thousands of places there's no more roads. They've been ripped up, asphalt gone. And even the major interstates are impassable still on I-85, I-40, I-74. And then you saw I-19, they closed their Interstate 19. Now, the cell towers are down, and this is where people are trying to get communications in. They don't even know if the cell towers are still there. This is Avery County again. The mudslides have taken out an enormous amount of infrastructure, cell tower-wise as well. And if we look at the debris that's left over, and I've seen this firsthand after the floods in Tennessee last year coming down, small streams turned into raging torrents and left the same exact scoured trees, just logs. And then it's piling up. This is what they saw on bridges. So now they need to get through this before they can even look to see if there's any damage on the bridges. This needs to be cleared out. They have very little machinery, very little fuel. They're trying to chainsaw through. But this is the scene that is the normal of the post-flood debris that needs to be cleaned out. It's in the mud. You got and it is so tangled. It is very difficult to get through that mud flow debris like that. I've experienced it myself a couple of times. You need chainsaws. You basically need to burn it. And it goes without saying, people are without power. Still millions, plural, millions of people without power. And then they're trying to quash any types of citizen relief operations. So here, when they told you not to walk into the park, I did that a couple days ago where that big sign, don't ride horses, don't walk, don't take your ATVs. This is why. This is a hiking trail. And the roads are gone. So the further they're getting into the mountains to take images now, there's just no way to really get in except by helicopter. And then those helicopter pilots were threatened with arrest if they went back up to pull people out. Now, this came from the same team that I have contact with that's up in Newport, that's further up into North Carolina. And this is what they're looking at for the roads. The devastation is all-encompassing. There's nowhere that's not damaged. That's the whole point. Like, from this point, you're walking in, you're putting it on a sled, you're taking a horse in, and then that's it. And the looting is out of control at the moment, like way out of control. But it's from 0 to 4 days, you're on your own and you know what's coming. And here, more warehouses and distribution centers waterlogged and everything damaged or destroyed in there. And supermarkets that can't accept cash payments. You need to release the food to the people. I know your refrigeration's gone and all the milk products. I get it. But that canned goods and anything in there, the water, that needs to go out to the public. Write it off. You write everything else off and get tax breaks. So then if you're looking at the river there, oversweeping on the banks to wherever it hit on the side of the mountain. You're in a valley. The water can only go so high, and it scours everything that's not higher on elevation. And it's the same thing. You have to look at the tributaries and how many streams. And wherever that water went, it finally reached somewhere going uphill, and when it did, everything in that trough was scoured or damaged. Or, this is what the small towns across all of North Carolina look like. The entire half of the state is like this, still underwater where it didn't drain yet. It's a slow draining process. I mean, literally everywhere. These are office buildings, thoroughfares, roads, catastrophic flooding. And this is in the Biltmore area. So if you know the Biltmore estate and you've been in North Carolina and see it, this is what Biltmore area looks like, Biltmore Village. This will probably get rebuilt first. There's a lot of money here, a lot of tourism to come back. And then, you're looking at the roads. This is an average road, drone footage. I mean, there's tens of thousands of areas like this with washed away roads. Now, these people are running out of water and food. No help in sight, barely, except barely coming into Asheville. Nobody's up in the mountains. And if the citizens are trying to get up there, they're being warned away by the law enforcement. You can't go deliver goods. And then if you think, you're buying a used car, there's going to be a lot of water damaged used cars coming on the market. So if you watch used car prices drop because there's going to be a glut, but they're all going to have some water damage to them. And in addition to this, we're looking at the ports. They're not potential anymore. I got this the last night. It was before midnight. So notice the markings on the bottom there, the gold price at 26.11. And then keep this as a snapshot for future reference to show your grandkids on how ridiculous the stock market got up to. Gold, oil's up, gold's up, silver's up, everything up. And we're going into a strike here where all of our goods are, going to be delayed coming off of here. And then we got this massive chemical fire, which they've sort of barely extinguished, kind of. But you see the red and the black smoke there, hazardous, traveled 30 miles. Just imagine seeing this on the interstate here. But, you got the oranges mixed in there as well. And then if you go, this is some 30 minutes driving. There's approximately 30 to 40 miles away from that. This is the air quality. Now, they say it's safe to breathe. It's all good. Just head outside, play tennis, ride a bike, bring your kids out. It's all good. It's all safe. It's all safe. I'll leave that link for the video below that was talking about the pilots coming on saying they'll be arrested, and then others saying, that they put up the roadblocks and they're just not allowed to go up and help. And you need to ask why. Because so far the emergency response ain't doing it. Not even close. Not even 1/5 of 1/8 of 1,000th of 1% close to doing anything up there. The citizens are helping each other. Neighbors are helping each other. Families are helping each other. Ham network's up and live. Nothing else is happening. Yeah, geez. These supermarkets need to release their food and not put the police out in front because they can't accept payments. Anyway, I'll stop here. I do thank you for watching. Please pass the message around. I'm trying to get all this information out. We all need to get help up to these people up here right now.